Better Kansas City with Alexis, Dave, Gary, Haley, Courtney, and Lisa.
Well, finding antiques can be tricky business. So many things these days are specifically designed to look antique. So how do you know if what you have is the real deal?
Well, TAM Stone with TAM Stone Interiors is the real deal, and she knows exactly what you need to be looking for.
One of my favorite topics when it comes to looking at antiques is furniture. And what you're looking for here is you're looking for signs of wear that are consistent with the age of the actual piece. So we have a lot of distressing out there on pieces that are made contemporarily, but you'll notice that the distressing doesn't necessarily occur in the places where it would in a vintage piece or an antique piece. So I love this particular drawer that I have here. It is from an antique dresser from probably the late 1700s or early 1800s. The wood is consistent with the period, so we know that that's right. You'll notice that there is going to be wear that is consistent with the piece running along the sliders over many, many years. Also, I know that this particular piece fits into the dresser that it came out of because it has a lot of wear right here. But these slats right here where it's rubbed run against the slats of the drawer above it. So I know that not only is this an antique piece, but it's actually the drawer that originally came out of this dresser. So what are we looking at to see if it's actually a vintage or antique piece or something that's new? Well, the first thing is, here's a relatively new drawer. What you see here is it's made out of a lighter wood. It's not a consistent, similar wood all the way around. You're also seeing that these miter joints are machine mitered. This is a modern piece. It's not an antique. So no matter how distressed or how vintage this might look, it's not. You need to be looking for a miter that is very inconsistent. So here's a drawer, actually, out of the same piece as this, that when you look at those joints, you see that those are hand miters. They're very, very narrow, they're inconsistent, and not uniform in shape or size. This piece is made before 1900, and from the other indicators that I know about the piece, it's probably more around 1800. The other thing that you're looking for is things like the drops. Drop pulls were very popular in antique pieces. So when you start to see the knobs, the kind of metal knobs, those are a little bit more contemporary, although can still be antique. But these kind of drop pulls were very popular in the 1800s, so those are probably antique pieces as well. So in general, when you're looking for these all consistent hallmarks to tell you that your piece is antique. Another thing you're looking at, which I don't actually have on this piece because this entire piece has been mitered, but if you were to see nail heads, you would be looking for nail heads that are square in shape as opposed to the typical round ones that we normally see. Those are indicators that it's an antique piece. In addition to the square nail heads, the other thing that you're looking for is to see if you have flat head screws. So we usually see the Phillips head screws with the little X's on the top of them, and they're usually kind of rounded in shape. The antique screws that you will find will be purely flat on top and just have the individual one-layer slat. So when you pull that out, you'll see that it's actually kind of a unique feeling nail and something that we're not used to seeing in contemporary times. So if you see all of these things kind of occurring together, you see square nails, you see flathead screws, you see indigenous wood, you see small miter joints, and you see some wear and tear that's consistent with the pieces that you're looking at of use, then you probably truly have an antique piece.